Foot race is on. Towards kitchen we go as Katani here snaking like Cell.
Absolutely dominate Battalion, as not only are they above in points, but the KD ratio.
Element, they have come to play in the grand finals because Molaflight, you are already cut off by Mirage. You have one more shot at this hill, but you are cut down by Teskey. Look at the snipes on a prop. He's not just Mirage with the sniper. Maybe we'll get something nice. There it is. Able to clip one. It's going to be 3 in the kill feed there, but there's Mirage.
Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the match this evening. I'm your host, Kamika, and I'm going to be joined by some of the other guys here. Say hello to SZE, and I believe we have Shreds in here as well, or am I mistaken on that?
Looks like he's in the building, but doesn't have his mic on yet. But yeah, Shorzy here from Lobby Up. Going to be joining Kamika, Kyle in the booth here. Got our second match of the league tonight. First game for both these teams, their second overall match for the league. So exciting stuff here, getting the first couple games of the year in and starting to set up like who are the big dogs in the yard here. So very excited to get into it here.
Yeah, me too. And we got a little bit of a sorry. I'm supposed to be the professional caster here, but yeah, what I'm trying to say here is that we've got a little bit of a difference in experience levels here between Empyreal and Validity, but that's what makes it so interesting, is that if you guys are familiar with the Call of Duty scene at all, as soon as you see the Empyreal roster, you'll be like, oh no, here comes these guys, because it is Kanwa, Choco Taco, I do believe, Craze, and Crazy. That's going to be fun to keep track of. And yeah, these guys, I've casted them for a very long time, from I think Kanwa and Cold War all the way up to the current points when I first casted him, but it was in a lot of high stakes online situations as well as on LAN. I believe I've also casted Kanwa winning some lands as well as Crazy winning a lot of lands and stuff like that. So these guys are good. That's what you should be taking away from that statement. On the other side, we've got Validity, who are a little bit, I don't want to say new kids on the block, but they're not as big names, I would say here, Shorzy. But I did get a little bit of a conversation here with the owner of Validity, and he has quite a lot of faith in these guys, and he's looking to make a little bit more of a long-term investment with these guys.
Absolutely, and this is an opportunity for them to kind of put themselves on the map as well. You're going up against a team with kind of the prestige that you were talking about, and you can't ask for a better start for your team here to come out here and get a great test right away, kind of show what you're about, show your mettle. And they don't have to win to prove themselves today. They just got to come out and fight. So all the pressure is on the other side. They just get to come out and ball out and do their best here, show what they're worth, and it should be awesome for them and a good start for their season here in this league.
Yeah, they are going to get quite the baptism by fire for the first time, and I can't require... I can't remember how long here, Shorzy. It is not going to be 3 hotels in a row to start things off. It's instead going to be Mercado Embassy, which is a map that I have been seeing not a whole lot of in Search and Destroy because it can be hard. And then we'll finally get to Hotel, and if we do so need it, Hotel, Hardpoint, and then Mercado, Search, and Destroy. What's your professional opinion on these maps here, Shorzy?
So Embassy as Search and Destroy, I think is awesome. In my personal opinion, I don't know about the professional opinion, but in the personal opinion, I think Embassy is one of the most fun S&D maps. Having Hotel on there twice is tough. That's never, for me, once again, personal opinion, one of my non-preferred maps. But these were determined by vetoes by the team, so, they're going to be cozy with the decisions that were made here. We got Mercado twice to start and to finish, and then Hotel twice in the middle, so the teams are going to be cozy with these choices, one more than the other possibly based on how the vetoes shook out. But yeah, Mercado, always a great map, one of my personal favorites. Embassy, one of my favorite S&D maps. And then Hotel as Control, we saw that last night in the other featured matchup. We had Hotel for Control, and that featured some great moments, so excited to see that in action once again.
Yeah, and for me, I think I've only seen Hotel Control. I've casted well over 20 games this season already, dude, and I think pretty much 18 of them featured Hotel Control. I think there were some of them that were El Asilo, but that was about it. Teams at this point, judging by, I don't know, my own experience, they should probably, I would guess that it's probably about the same play rate for them as well. So I would expect them to be playing that about the same. But what I've not seen a whole lot of is Mercado Hardpoint. It's quite a hefty amount of rotating that you have to do on this map. There's quite a lot of lockdowns that you can do in terms of map control. It's sort of like a watered down version of Fortress, where you can sort of get away with some of not being there early on the rotation, but there's still a lot of hills that you can just lock down on and make it mindless.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be interesting to see if we get that first as well, as we get to knock that out right away. And it'll be awesome to see how they utilize the architecture of this map and utilize those choke points, those rotation lines that you were talking about. This beefed up version of Fortress, as you kind of referred to it. It'll be interesting to see how they take advantage of the map here and use it to their advantage.
Yeah, and it looks like Empyreal, and so it begins, I guess you could say here, Shorzy, as Empyreal are already going to get pretty dang close to 10 points off this first objective, and they're going to get the rotation next as well. As you can see, Cryptos was trying to contest him for it, but Empyreal, they've got a full lockdown in the middle of the map. This is a hill that can be either really contestable, but if you get a full team wipe like Empyreal just did, you can turn it into a whole lot of hill time and make it really hard for your opponents to rotate. Case in point, Validity has been team wiped at least twice already.
Excuse me.
You are excused. And so we're going to go right on to the next point. Empyreal getting quite a lot of hill time off the first one. 30 seconds is still, I would argue, quite a lot, and they've got good control over the next one. But Validity, to their credit, are going to break their control very hard, and so they're not going to have the best of control over it yet. Cray's going to get taken down in the meantime by Ukio. And Validity, surprisingly, going to beat out Empyreal for the initial time and make it nice and mixy here, despite not having the rotation.
Yeah, absolutely. The great hold on the first hard point literally took my breath away. Had me hacking up a lung over here. Great first hill for them. Get out to a good lead here. Gonna have work to try and extend it here, but a good rotation on the other side. Gonna be a good contested hard point, it looks like here.
Yeah, it was for the first 5 seconds, and then Empyreal, they just wiped the entire enemy team again, and they were able to just not only get a lot of the hill time, they realized that their opponents would probably not contest them for it again, so they went on to the next one. And on an individual basis as well, these Imperial guys are just firing on all cylinders. You see Chaco, they've got a lot of great lines being held on their opponents, a lot of great sight lines, and Validity are having a really hard time getting past Imperial's lane holding. As you can see, a lot of the deaths that Validity are having are just because they're getting caught mid-sprint running right on into where Empyreal is holding. And so, yeah, that's... especially with how these Validity players are being forced to play and push into these situations alone, it's not the easiest thing in the world to break Empyreal off these objectives.
Yeah, you can see the difference in experience here. One team holding down lines, very, very orchestrated defense here on the hard point, and the other side kind of coming one at a time. Not a lot of coordination right now. Going to need to look to clean that up if they want to have an opportunity and a shot here and try and claw back in here. But yeah, they were the favored team for a reason. They're kind of demonstrating why right now with some great prowess here.
Yeah, I mean, Validity, they are going to be able to get a good rotation in next, but if you notice at the bottom part of the map, Empyreal had them completely shut in that little door frame area. There's no way they could have any map control over the outside, and so all Empyreal had to do was just push in when it suited them. But Validity, they tried to, force their way on out of it. Didn't work for them well there either. And I'm just looking at Conwa here, dude. 12-1 9-kill streak in this life alone. This is, if that's not a statement of how things are going and the scoreline isn't, I don't know what is.
Yeah, very dominant performance by a team and by Conwa especially. Put together a great individual performance right now. Gonna look to see if he can extend that streak, put together a crazy first performance here on the season. Get himself out ahead in those individual rankings a little bit. Milk those stats the best he can. But yeah, great overall dominant performance to start here. They're looking sharp.
Yeah, I mean, 160-point lead is the biggest skill disparity I've seen in any of the games I've casted so far. Empyreal, they well and truly came to play, and they are not pulling any punches up against the new kids on the block Validity. And neither is Conwa coming around the side, but Ukio is finally going to be able to get a shutdown onto Conwa. But, I mean, yeah, all that's going to do is just, I don't know, make him respawn and then come back a little bit later and have the same amount of effect I would anticipate.
Yeah, they finally got him down, but not until after he dropped 10 straight on them. A pretty unprecedented run in a game of this level. A crazy run by Conwa. Good on them to get him off of that. But I expect him to come back blood hungry here, looking to redeem himself.
Yeah, I mean, Conwa in the middle of the map once again, going to be just frying Haptic. 2 people going up at him at the same time in Validity. Another full team wipe at the end of the rotation. That's going to be a little bit hurtful. And Chaco catching Haptic off the respawn as well, forcing them out. Validity, I mean, the one good thing about them all dying at the same time is they're going to all respawn at the same time. So they're not going to be getting stuck in a position that a lot of teams that are behind get stuck in, whereas they're trickling in off of bad respawns. They are going to have the good thing that they can actually take these gunfights together and maybe recover a little bit better than if they died all separately.
Looking like this has the potential to be the final hill here. As Empyreal is on it now, they're going to be able to just hold this out the rest of the way, unless Validity's able to get a good push here.
I mean, it's looking like not. Khan was just holding down on this objective. No one's even able to reach him at this point. That's how good his teammates are. But Chaco is going to get a little bit taken down by Haptic, so maybe a last-second shell. Good nade, weakening him up for Ukio, but unfortunately does have to throw down a trophy system. In the meantime, Crazy landing the cruise missile. Last chance for Cryptos to contest, and it will not be successful. And so Empyreal will take what I would guess is going to be the most amazing win of the season so far at a 250-16 ratio there.
Yeah, it's a very dominant victory there. Hopefully Validity will be able to slow down the pace a little bit, take some control back here, and compete here in the search and destroy round coming up next. Because that was very dominant from Empyreal. Definitely putting the league on notice with a performance like that. Absolute perfect spawn control, perfect control of the hill. Just was never in a doubt in any way, shape, or form. Great performance by them.
Yeah, and so currently, in case you guys didn't see the score on your screen right there, it is going to be Empyreal 1 and Validity 0. So, I mean, yeah, that was just the most dominant hardpoint I've seen this entire season so far. Shorzy, Empyreal, these guys are super experienced in not just this Call of Duty, but in Call of Duty in general. They've got a lot of lands and challengers under the belt, so all that experience is definitely showing itself now, and these guys are really good in Search and Destroy as well, especially Conwa. I've seen him do some nasty, nasty things to people in some Search and Destroys. Makes people look really, really silly. And so, going into Embassy, which is a map that can cause a little bit of, concerns that you can always be shot in the back. There's always good possibilities for flanks, especially if you're able to, catch one out on the defensive side. You can't watch every single angle, so I think that there could be some sneaky plays coming out here from Empyreal if they don't just decide to brute force their opponents.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Validity can show some heart, show some fight here, and put on a performance here and compete in the round 2. That first round obviously was dominant from Empyreal, so going to be looking for Validity to show some heart here and fight back. And on a map where like S&D, they should have the ability to communicate a little bit more, really slow down, have some good team play, and be able to fight back and put together a good performance here. Hopefully that's what we see from them.
Yeah, and that is a good thing that you point out there, Shorzy, is the fact that these rounds have no impact on each other, so it doesn't matter if you get full team wiped in one round. It's not like you're going to have to run right back into a fully set up opponent in the Search and Destroy, which was the case pretty much the entire game for Validity in that hard point. So they will be able to, rest on that a little bit, and who knows? What I've seen is a pattern of people who are not necessarily good at hard points or respawns are usually Search and Destroy demons. That's where a lot of Call of Duty players get their start. So I'm hoping that is going to be the case tonight for Validity. But ladies and gentlemen, before we get that started, we're going to send this to a quick little break from our host Gorilla from Major 1. Go ahead and take a look at that. Yeah, I will mention that. Oh, okay. Yes, we are back once again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving your attention to Gorilla for that one. I mean, I was looking at that ad, Shorzy, and I thought that all their stuff looked pretty dang clean. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, very crisp, very clean site. I've been working, Lobby Up's been working very closely with Gorilla for a while, and been helping them kind of develop the site, just kind of exiting its beta state right now. So super new, but super clean, super awesome. They've been an awesome sponsor for AWL here. And like you said, it looks clean, and it is clean. An awesome sponsor for this. A big shout out to them.
Yep. We're back to the game, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be getting in here on Embassy. I've seen this map not a whole lot in comparison to some of the other ones, because from what I can tell, a lot of the teams that are not super well versed in Search and Destroy are not very comfortable on this map. Just because it takes a lot of teamwork in order to actually hold on to the defensive side, and if you're not amazing at just Search and Destroy in general, you can easily have that turned up against you. It really is a big differential in terms of skill. Like if you're not as good as the enemy team at Search and Destroy, then you're probably not going to be able to defend up against them, and you're probably not going to be able to attack up against them either. It's not like in Vanguard where you can get a little bit lucky up against these guys every single game potentially. Those rounds are a little bit far and few between in this Call of Duty, if I do say so myself, Shorzy.
Yeah, I love what you said about how this map is going to force people to be more technical because of how many angles and how the threat of being shot in the back is so rampant. It'll be interesting to see how both teams combat that and use the teamwork factor, cover their angles, work together, move together. Whichever side can do that, it should be the team that wins. And the way that Empyreal looked in Hardpoint, you'd imagine they're going to have that prowess once again. But it'll be interesting to see if Validity can kind of mimic that same type of style and move, shoot, and communicate together here and put on a good performance in round 2.
Yeah, and another thing that's going to be a big point of contention here is if any of these teams have a solid sniper on their team, because that's That's something that I've noticed in a lot of these games. A team that has a really good sniper can have just immense impact on the game. Not just on the defensive side, where you can pretty much completely dominate the B site by getting on those little stairways. You can pretty much isolate them, make it so that they can't run right up to it. It forces them to either go through the middle of the map or over towards the opposite bomb site if they want to go anywhere near the A bomb site. So yeah, snipers can be really, really impactful on this map, not just on the defensive side, but on the attacking side. You can also get some good picks on the guys showing up on top of the roofs. It's just a really, really good thing to have, and I believe that is something that Empyreal 100% does have on their side. I think, if I do recall correctly, it is Crazy that is their sniper, but not Crazy, but Crazy Views.
Okay, well, we'll see that here shortly.
Conwell, actually.
Conwell rocking the sniper. Okay, so that might be our difference maker. If we're able to utilize that sniper.
God damn, though, dude. This is not what I was expecting. Yeah, this is not what I was expecting. Not all what I was expecting here, Shorzy. Conwell, a man by himself now, as Validity completely steamroll Empyreal off of the B bomb site. And yeah, you can do one of two things with a sniper. Conwell did one of them, and that's try to hold the mid-map push, or you can go exactly where number 2 and Haptic is and try and make it so that they can't just go for a full frontal assault onto B. Validity, they opted to go for the latter, and Conwell unfortunately was out of position for it, and his teammates just got a little bit smoked, and now Haptic in position to shoot Conwell easy as it gets. Validity taking literally a perfect first round.
Yeah, that was great execution by them. We'll see how Empyreal recovers and bounces back here, but a great adjustment here from Validity. They get steamrolled in round 1. They come out here fired up. Maybe a little bit of a halftime speech there from the coaching. But they come out here fired up and steal round 1 here of Search and Destroy. And they'll swap sides and go back at it now, but looking for more of the same from them here.
I just want to take a look at the KDs right here. I always love seeing stuff like this. It's a team ace. It's all 1s and 0s on this board right now. That's just a little bit aesthetically pleasing to me, Shorzy. I don't know about you, but Validity, we will see what they can do on the attack now as well as the defense. Another great opening blood onto Craze, and they don't even get a retribution kill coming out here. No trade out. Yes. And so that's going to be making things really, really difficult for Empyreal to be pushing in, assuming that Dialeth doesn't give himself up as an easy kill here for Conwell. That was a little bit unnecessary in my opinion.
Yeah, tough push there. Gets caught being a little ambitious. But I like what you were saying about the non-traded kills. Yeah, non-traded kills are the difference maker here in Search and Destroy. The more non-traded kills you can pull up, the better position you put your team in and later in these rounds.
Oh, and Conwell is seeing Cryptos. Cryptos still not knowing that Con was there, unfortunately, and Conwell will be able to pile up the bodies a mile high with the 3 kills he got in that round. Empyreal, they didn't get the first blood even. It's just really, yeah, it was mostly, I don't want to say it was entirely down to Conwell and his ability to snipe these guys out and not just hit his shots, but I don't want to like totally rag on Validity either. They did make themselves a little bit of, I don't know. I don't want to say they made themselves some easy targets for him, but they definitely enabled Conwell to go off the way he did, and he doesn't make mistakes in that situation. Validity, they are still looking pretty good on the attack, though. I might have been right with my hunch that these guys are a little bit more experienced in Search and Destroy, and we'll see what they do this time around. Empyreal are going to be dedicating a lot more manpower, namely Conwell, over towards the B bomb site, but instead they're making their way towards A, and Crazy goes for the flank.
Good rapid push here. I know he's, oh no. Gets caught, swinging wide, cuts out right underneath him, gets caught from behind. Another one, and Empyreal takes it. A dominant performance in that round once again. Had the right idea, they're pushing the right lanes, just getting caught just outside of sight line over and over again here as they get gunned down from behind twice in a row right there to close out the round.
Yep, and so I guess Empyreal took offense to that, took it a little bit personally losing that first round, and they are now firing on all cylinders. Haven't really looked too close to losing any rounds since then, especially the most recent one, and so Validity, they gotta try a little bit of something new. They looked pretty good in the beginning. They did get the opening blood, let's not forget, but I feel like they definitely gotta respect Conwell and his sniping ability a little bit more. He's gone on a 4-killing spree now. He has put it away now in favor of going for a rush towards the B bomb site. In the meantime, the mid-map pressure is still there for Empyreal. That's been a main avenue of attack for them where they've been able to get quite a lot of kills. And so now they will be able to get a nice simple bomb plant over on here, control over both sides of the map, but Validity doing the right thing and trying to get them out of this window hold, otherwise they would have pretty much no hope of getting back control over B.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to take control of that high center room that Conwa's been kind of taking over. Trying to take that away from them, force them to beat them in a different way at least.
Yeah, it doesn't really help that they still have a lot of players left alive. Ukio, he did a really good job of avoiding getting traded out there for Chaco's life, but really running out of time, so there's not a whole lot that Ukio can even do here. He's going to try and take a little bit of an ambitious fight with Conwa, but there was nothing that fight was really going to change instead of maybe taking Conwa off of streaks, which would have been good, but unfortunately he just adds to them as Empyreal going to be going up 3 rounds to 1 now.
Yeah, great response by them. They lost the first round. Validity even got first blood in the second round, and ever since then it's been a dominant showing here. Interested to see what Validity does to do different here, whether they need to slow down a little bit or if they need to focus more control on trying to like target that sniper right away. I'm curious to see what they'll do to adjust here. But clearly, whatever the game plan is right now, it needs some sort of adjustment here. They're kind of getting steamrolled once again.
I think they definitely got to be slowing down a little bit. That's some great nade throws, beating their opponent to their spot, and they're going to be damaging them up quite considerably. If Empyreal took that angle, then it would have been pretty easy for Validity if they had just landed one bullet to take them down. And so they're going to go for a plant as well as a flank, giving up the main angle, but taking it back whenever it suits them. Well played from Empyreal. They might not have gotten to the angle first, but it doesn't matter who gets there first. It depends on who just gets the kills from that angle. And so they will be able to completely wipe out their enemy players as well as get the defuse without losing a single life.
Yeah, that's impressive. Getting a bomb planted on you and still not losing a single life in the process and winning a round is a pretty rare occurrence, I feel like. So to be able to pull that off with 0 deaths was pretty impressive.
And Conwa doing a little bit of William Tell here. Is that what I'm detecting here? He's seeing... Oh, there we go. Craze going for a little bit of a victory lap around the outskirts of the map on top of the fences. That's a nice little spot that you don't see people normally going at. But yeah, I mean, here we go. Empyreal going to be going up 4-1 now. They have not lost a single round after that first initial loss.
Yeah, they definitely took it personal. They said this is the year of Jordan, the year of 23. We're going to take it personal, and they went off ever since that first round.
I didn't even think about that. That's great.
I've also never seen that. I don't know how he got up there, but I saw Craze was up on the fence along that right side lane. I've never seen anybody up there before. That was new to me.
Yeah. Ooh, a little bit of a rough one there from Chaco as he takes down one in addition to one of his own teammates, but Conwa is still alive and kicking and is able to get Ukio on the way out there as well. So they've got the bomb down. They just got to make sure that they stick together. If I were Validity's players right now, I would be grouping up together inside. And so, yeah, they've got the bomb down. All they got to do is make sure that they don't make themselves easy targets for Conwa, especially on an individual basis. They got to get themselves in a position where they can trade themselves out if Conwa does take a fight up against them. And currently, they are not in positions where they can easily do that. Haptic is 100% by himself, so if Conwa hits his shot, which he is prone to do, and sees him, then Haptic will have pretty much no ability to be traded out by Kryptos and gives Conwa away back into this game. Conwa still not knowing where these guys are. He's going to have to go and pick up this bomb eventually, and I'm sure they're going to be hearing him now that his dead silence has ran out. I think what Validity is doing here is also a smart choice. They are giving a lot of respect to Conwa now, which I do like. He has been the top-off performer for the enemy team so far, and they're just waiting for him to plant. And as soon as he plants it, one of them was in either part of the map, and so as soon as he planted, they would be able to easily get on an angle to kill him off and get the defuse. That was well played by Validity. It could have been a little bit risky if Conwa had found one of them, but either way, it worked out very well for them, and Validity will not be getting smoked in this one just yet.
Yeah, it was a good patient play by them to slow play it. Understand we're on defense. We don't need to go and find him. We can slow play it, hold our angles, each hold our respective bomb site. And like you said, if he would have found one of them and landed a shot and dropped one of them, it would have been stuck in an awkward 1v1. But the way they played it ended up working out just fine. So well done by Validity to get back on the board here with their second round win here.
Yeah, I want to give some more credit to Haptic as well as he dies, unfortunately. But he was also playing it in a corner that Conwa, if he did take the challenge on him, he would have had the advantage. But, ooh, Craze getting around the back. But on the ground is going to be Dialeth, just trying to pre-fire him, sees him, but Craze doesn't see him back. Dialeth going to get a pretty good kill there, but unfortunately, might not be the most impactful as the rest of his teammates are completely dead, and he's about to get crossfired. Yep, that was pretty crazy, but I don't think that, yeah, there was really no hope in that round
all
for
that
him.
much, but a crazy challenge there to back up and take more shots. And good accurate return fire there by Empyreal to drop him as well, get them out to a 5-2 lead now. And match point here, so one more round win will put Empyreal up 2-0. So Validity needs to respond, and they need to respond now or they're going to be out of here early.
Yeah, it's going to need to be 4 round wins in a row. Pretty much can't do anything wrong at this point up against Empyreal, and that is very hard to do up against Conway. Even if you're not doing anything necessarily wrong, he's going to make you pay for any pixel that you're showing. And oh, there he goes again, taking down yet another one. Give this man the ace, please. I want this to end with a Conway ace. That would be really awesome. And so, bomb is going to be planted. He will not get the opportunity to get the ace, but Haptic is still alive and kicking and going to have an opportunity to maybe be the hero for Validity.
Yeah, you had said before the game started the difference was probably going to be who could utilize a sniper best, and Conway has been on point with it. You saw a great accurate shot there. And Empyreal takes it 6-2, and they'll go up 2-0 on the series. One more win, and it's done. It'll be Greenberg Hotel next. But yeah, it was exactly how you prophesized. You said the team that can utilize the sniper the best will win. Conway was that man, sitting at 11-2 finish, I believe. Very dominant performance by him once again. Carries his team to a victory, and they're up ahead and in great control right now of the series.
Yeah, I mean, Conway just an incredible performance there, 11-2, the impact of which cannot be understated. But even if he wasn't supplying as many kills as he was, he just really needs to get like 1 or 2 in like recent history, and they'll be like, all right, guys, we got to be a little bit careful of how we push this because we don't really have a sniper, and he's going to be able to get to the angle just at the same time as we are. And so, yeah, all you really got to do is just teach them a lesson maybe once or twice, and then they'll probably not challenge you as hard on those angles, which gives you map control. But, I mean, I guess they didn't really learn their lessons. It's like that guy said in SpongeBob, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Because every single time they challenged Conway on that angle, he taught them the same lesson over and over and over again. So now, we do go into Greenberg Hotel Control, the map that has been played, I would say, probably more than any other map in Control. So both these teams probably very experienced on how they want to be playing this map.
Yeah, absolutely. And then just one other note I wanted to drop about your sniper anecdote, because I just thought it was awesome how true and how right you were about it. The stat tracking from last night's match between Acrylic and Mist when they played the Search and Destroy game on El Asilo, the difference in that game was Acrylic's Jest, who went 14-6, rocking the sniper with 8 non-traded kills. Like, he was the player of that match. With a sniper for Acrylic, and it was the same thing again tonight with Empyreal, the player of the match being the person rocking the sniper for them. So just going to show them Search and Destroy modes, the sniper is the key player. So all these teams out there, if they're trying to compete, are going to be seeing that and understanding, if they didn't already, that is the difference maker for these Search and Destroy modes for sure.
Yep, and while we do have a little bit of time, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are liking what you're seeing, go ahead and drop a follow on Twitch as well as on Twitter. And if you guys do go ahead and follow the Twitter and you guys want to go up against people like Validity or Empyreal, you see them and you're like, I can do that, I can do better, then you will have your opportunity. We've got our open qualifiers coming up. Go ahead and follow them on, follow AWL on Twitter, and you'll be able to see when they are going to be taking signups. There they are. This is how the major works. Just a little bit of a rundown as to how this is going to be going down. One of the qualifiers, open qualifiers, as you can see, 4 teams from that will be going on in from the 5 weeks of qualifiers into the major tournament, which is going to be coming up, I do believe, in February. So yes, you will have an opportunity to play up against these guys if you are good enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Super excited to have those qualifiers go and see some new faces and see if anybody can be a dark horse, make the running through those qualifiers, come up into the major, and shock the world. That would be awesome to see. And I'm sure there's some teams out there that are more than capable. So definitely excited to see how that will develop here in the coming weeks.
I mean, there's quite a lot of money on the line, especially if you're taking into account just like Call of Duty. AM Call of Duty in general, I think AWL is like a pretty amazing prize pool when you compare it to a lot of the other leagues out there. So yeah, if you guys want a chance at that, go ahead. You know where to find it on Twitter. Open qualifiers, look at when they're happening. But yeah, Shorzy, we've got a game on our hands here. Let's talk a little bit more about that. I'm going to get a little bit more intricate as to what I've been seeing a lot of teams doing successfully on this map, something that by this point I'm expecting a lot of these players to be knowing, and that is that A is typically the more easy objective to take. So what I've been seeing a whole lot here, Shorzy, is teams liking to blitz onto B. But what's happening recently is people know that they're going to be trying to take B, so they go in there pretty much full force, try and hold on to that, and then go from the middle of the map in their B control, flank, clean up A, reset. That's typically how I see it be done. So I think that's pretty much what I'm expecting to see from Empyreal as well as Validity here.
Yeah, we'll be interested to see if either team kind of goes off that meta offense/defensive strategy that you're kind of breaking down, or if it'll just come down to who can execute that meta strategy the best. But yeah, definitely true. B rush was what we saw the most last night in last night's feature. Expecting the same strategy here, as like you said, it's the common strategy. It's been broken down to a science by these teams at this point. Because the amount of reps they've had playing control on this map, even though we're pretty early in the life cycle of the game, people have got that down to a science. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody goes off the beaten path with a strategy there, or if it'll just come down to execution. But if I was Validity, I would try and maybe do something to catch them off guard, surprise them, because the normal tactics have not led them to any advantage here over Empyreal, who's looked very dominant so far. As expected, you said before the game started, this was the team to beat. You kind of broke down their prestige and their history. And if you want to be able to beat a team like that, you might have to catch them off guard. This was something we haven't seen. And just maybe hit rush A. I don't know. It's crazy on the fact that it's not the meta strategy, but like if you catch them off guard, you get a good start, and then you shift back to that normal strategy after you get a little bit of that head start that way. Not anything that's gone bad and not a strategy. You just immediately write off. But interested to see how they'll play it. They've got tons of options here.
Right. And if things don't go too well for Validity over on the B, they could go for A as well as open up the back part of the map of Empyreal, get some easy kills like that. That's another way that you could be doing it. And it appears that Validity is going to get a little bit slowed down, and 3 men in the middle of the map here for Empyreal. This is going to be really, really difficult, especially when you're unable to land the shots into Chaco right there. That's going to be leaving a lot of people still alive for Empyreal in entrenched positions, and yeah, they still seem to be going for this spot. Empyreal has a really strong setup here, 2 people in the middle of the map, watching over B, and can easily rotate over Craze if he does sound the alarm over there too.
Yeah, they're holding the lanes really well, Empyreal is. Not letting them get any traction here.
And oh my god, Crazy just line them up and taking them down like it's a strike in bowling. But either way, it is still going to be alive after that. You see, that's the power of holding the way that they're holding, is that you can easily rotate through the middle of the map if they are in control over A. And you can see from how Khan was flanking as well, is that their back line can be very open. There's a lot of ways that you can flank them. You can either go through the little overpass there from bedroom, or you can go for the full flank, run back to the kitchen. And so you are very exposed in the back if you do try to attack onto this objective. Case in point, Conway in their back area, lighting them ablaze. And so that is going to be forcing Validity, now that they know that all their opponents are over there, make their play at B. They do finally get a tick now.
Yes, they get the first tier there, but they're already trailing by nearly 10 lives. 12 to 21 lives remain for 20 now. So down on lives a ton. Gonna need to start playing a little bit slower, most likely to conserve their lives.
Yeah, I mean, they are really starting to run out of lives, and all they can really hope for, in my personal opinion, is getting 3 ticks. As long as you get 3 ticks, as long as you can just hold the same up against your opponents, then you'll be pretty much toe-to-toe with them. But yeah, that's pretty much what you're hoping for at this point with Validity. You're running out of time, you're running out of lives. All you gotta do is just stop the clock, see if you can force your opponents into some bad shells, catch them off guard. Gotta expect the flank. It's been happening quite a lot, and there you go. Complete and utter shutdown of this push once again, Empyreal running all around them, enveloping them entirely, and Validity, without a single leg to stand on, are going to be able to lose this first round to Empyreal. Or maybe not quite yet. They've actually made a little bit of a last stand over on B, but now it seemed like it was written in the stars. Empyreal taking the first round.
Yeah, dominant performance from Empyreal once again. You said it. You said running around them. You can just see the experience of this Empyreal team. They've got their reps in. They've practiced the control on all of these respawn game modes so well, and you can just tell that they've put the reps in, put the hashtag work in, and they're out here they're busting up Validity right now. Put on an absolute clinic.
Yeah, and now I'm curious to see how these guys are reacting to this right now. I think what we could do right now, because we have the ability to do that because we're all fancy and stuff, is take a little bit of a listen in with Validity.
Not bad.
They're triple hitting
hallway.
Hurt.
He's got a trophy down already.
I'm going top catwalk.
Yeah.
Nothing catwalk. Oh, he's top bed now. He's watching over. He's going bed.
Got one. Got
Missed
two.
on.
Shit.
Go.
Top bed. Yo, couch.
Ouch. He's holding it. He's watching top bed.
You guys want to go B or A?
I'm
on me?
working A. I'm working A.
Catwalk into top bed.
Heard. He saw me cross.
He's laying down close door. He's hitting.
Oh, you got me.
He's laying down close our side.
He's on
He's
B.
pushing
Yeah,
up.
one on B. Left
Didn't
side.
know.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's affecting them too overly much. They seem still calm, cool, and collected, even if their voices might sound a little bit, I don't know, monotone. I don't think that's indicative of them feeling too overly bad about this. We came into this knowing that Validity is a team that wants to become better over time. And so, again, it doesn't seem like it's affecting them overly too much here, Shorzy. But yeah, and so unfortunately that they are still going to be losing that round, and the kills not really been going their way here, Shorzy. We've got about, let me do some quick math here. God, that is actually really hard math. 19 kills in total for Validity so far, and Craze almost has that all on his own. So yeah, Empyreal are definitely looking a little bit better in just not only how they're holding the map, but just how they're coming at the ability, and these guys obviously can hit their shots as well. So, yeah, Validity just, with a combination of those things, having a really hard time. Alright, and yeah, so I guess it would be fair to do a little bit of a listen on both teams now. We're going to go in and take a little bit of a listen into Empyreal's comms for contrast.
J too. Yep, you killed me. Dude, my fucking ear, bro.
He's to my right top mid.
Sounded like something just fucking blew up in my ear. Oh my god, these rugs.
These rugs are here. Statues too.
Statues.
Oh,
One shot.
There's only
yeah, watch this. I'm hacking. Yep.
Nice, that's 4 down. We can.
I'm
Maybe for sure.
I'm watching. I'm watching.
Go connector.
He's cross already weak.
I know.
Nice.
Another
You're still
one.
out of bed. Hey, shit can, how are you? Hey, other shit can, how are you?
I got.
Well, definitely a little bit of contrast going on there in terms of their comms, whereas it was all business for the side of Validity. It was pretty much just a bunch of smack talk, call out here and there, but I mean, they don't feel the pressure whatsoever. That's what I took out of that. And so, yeah, not feeling pressure at all. They are going to be winning this map 3-0 as well as the series 3-0. Shorzy, that was, I don't want to say exactly what I expected, but still a little bit of a shellacking. Alright, I do think we've actually lost Shorzy here, so yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see from the screen above you, it is going to be actually Empyreal and Validity, not Acrylic and Mist, but yeah, Empyreal they were one of the teams to beat, as I did indicate to you, and they are still looking like that, completely blowing their opponents out of the water, getting the best possible start to this season for them, pretty much possible, and that is going to be the end of tonight for them. So yeah, I do believe that Shorzy was mentioning some of the other teams that won recently having good snipers in the search and destroys. That's something that I kind of want to see in some of these upcoming matches, is if they can go toe-to-toe with Conwa and search and destroy with the sniper, if they can out-rotate these guys, because, I mean, man, as we get later on in the season, I know we've got some really good teams in here, but I really want to see if anyone can take something from Empyreal. That's going to be what I'm looking for. And yeah, it does appear that we're going to be doing a little bit of an interview with one of the players now. Who is that going to be with, Elzo? Alright, we're going to get back to you guys on that. But we are going to be doing a little bit of an interview here, picking the brain of one of these teams. And I do believe it is going to be Conwa here. And so, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be getting to that pretty soon. And yeah, here he is, main man himself, Conwa. How you doing, dude?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm sure you're doing pretty good after that win. I mean, overall thoughts on the match?
I'll just say I'm looking forward to next week.
Looking forward to next week. This one's already on your mind?
Yeah, it wasn't really much prep that went into it. Ready for next week. I think we had a decent match next week against For the Fam.
Okay, and for those of you guys that don't know, who is exactly on that team, and why are you looking forward to fighting them?
They got Kalen and Mazzo. I'm not sure who their fourths are. It might be their collegiate team, which I think is like Andre, Gwyn, and Slapex, or it could be like their challengers team, and I don't know who it is yet. But those guys are shooters, so that'll be I think a little bit more interesting. I think I tried to make that as interesting as possible, but we were playing some farmers, so I don't think it was too interesting for you guys.
I mean, your comms were interesting. We got a little bit of a listen in onto that, and you guys sounded like you guys were having a great old time.
We're having a good time, man. Yeah.
More joking than call-outs, and so, yeah,
you guys... The comms were there, man. You know, it's a vibey team.
I mean, I definitely heard him here and there, but yeah, definitely not taking your opponents seriously there towards the end. But yeah, tell me a little bit more about your relationship with the rest of your teammates. I feel like I've seen you playing with them quite a lot in, like, not just LANs, but other things. What sort of relationship do you have with your teammates?
Sure. So, Crazy Views was, the guy I've played with before. I've teamed with him last year in Vanguard. We went to a few locals together. He's one of my closer friends through gaming. Chaco, this is my first year teaming with him. Me and him have been together since the game came out. Both of those are my ARs, and they might be the two best ARs I've ever teamed with. Both got elite comms, elite gun skill, and they're great teammates. So it's really easy just to play with them. And then Craze, like the other Craze, is just someone, like, honestly, bro, I didn't know who he was until like a week ago. I'm not gonna cap. But I've heard really good things from all of his old teammates. Part of the reason we picked him up is I was talking to one of his teammates that he went to Raleigh with. His name was Alessio, and Alessio said to me that they played the Los Angeles Guerrillas Academy team, which ended up winning the entire event, and this kid Craze just was like carrying them. He said that like he was like the best player on the map, and I was like, well, shoot, does he run a sub? Because that's what we're looking for. So we picked him up, and he's a really vibey teammate, really talented player. So yeah, and I really like all three of my teammates. I think we got a really high ceiling. They're a lot of fun to play with, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do in this league, but also just like in challengers in general.
And I mean, after a performance like that, I absolutely am too. Conwa, I really have no other questions for you tonight. I think you've said quite a lot, and so yeah, I'm going to give you the last word tonight. Is there anything that you want to be ending this off on? Say anything at all that you want.
Sounds good. Just GG's to those guys. They're nice guys. I'm looking forward to some of the rest of our matches in this league. There's some seriously talented competition in this league, and I'm looking forward to having some really good matches. And I think the Amateur World League is running a really good thing over here, and I'm glad that we could be a part of it. Shout out to Empyreal for allowing us to represent them as well.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here from Conwa. Thanks a lot for the interview, dude, and we hope to see a lot more from you and as the season does progress.
Appreciate it, man.
that is going to be about all we've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, this was Empyreal versus Validity. Empyreal with the hot 3-0 on the night in their inaugural game of the inaugural season. And yeah, make sure you guys go ahead and follow on your way out on Twitch as well as Twitter if you guys want to be watching the matches, or if you guys think you're good enough to participate in these open qualifiers, keep an eye on the Twitter for those times. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we've got nothing else for you guys tonight. We will see you all in the next one.